What up, y'all? I'm over here listening to some Richard Smallwood. Rest in peace, Richard Smallwood, man. I'm gonna have a talk pretty soon on our gospel sound. I haven't been talking too much about it because I've been putting this document. Maybe I need to talk about it more so this documentary can come together. But Richard Smallwood wasn't just a gospel composer. He knew how to play jazz and he was classically trained. I don't too much care for a lot of the lyrics of a lot of gospel music, but the melodies and the music and the emotion, it don't get better than gospel music, man. The lyrics be poisonous to the motherfucker oftentimes, but anyway, we're gonna do a follow up today. What's up, DJ Scrap Dirty? We're gonna do a follow up. You know me. You know when I'm on my phone, I pay closer attention to the chat, and when I'm on my computer, I'll be in my zone. I'll be in my zone on the computer. So the chat generally distracts me on that one. So I wanted to just follow up what we talked about yesterday. I wanted to follow up here and get some of you guys' opinions and reactions. I think a Django said Anton wears Spanx. Can you niggas not be fools for 2 seconds? Yeah, that came out of nowhere, dog. Oh, my bad. My bad. That nigga said Spanx. Wow. I'm listening to Total Praise now. If you played music in church in the '90s and the 2000s, if you were a church musician, you knew some Richard Smallwood, man. And you know, sorry about that. I got something stuck in my tooth. I'm trying to floss out. Give me some questions, y'all. There you go. I got it out. What's up, Dad Miller? What's up, Thiz? I appreciate that, Terrell. I appreciate that. Yeah, we gotta watch this kind of stuff that happens, you know? Remember when the year started, I said this is the year of confrontation, direct confrontation. 2025 was 24 was exposure. 25 was confrontation within groups. This year's confrontation around the board. So y'all make sure that watch what you say. But this whole situation, man, oh, oh no, Javi, Javi, that's a good topic. I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. Javi, send me the interview you saw with Redman because tomorrow's topic is gonna be me. Pete Rock retweeted something that French Montana said on Fat Joe and Jada's podcast about Cool Herc and being hip hop, and Pete Work, Pete Rock is doubling down on that. So that's tomorrow's topic. So send me that video if you can, all right? Please. Yeah, what Corey did, let's go back for those of you who didn't see the video earlier. All right, I've listened to 3 gospel songs in a row. That's enough. I've had enough. Now I listened to 3 gospel songs in a row. Now I've got to feel the spirit. Now let's get to some regular music. But I called him Anton. I was like, yeah, there are no rules in war, and you cannot. And that's real talk to war. You can't. That's what a lot of people are getting like that are getting mad at the situation and getting wrong. People want to. You can't police other people's reactions. You can't police how other people take things. So, who remembers? Well, who was raised? Person number one, if you were raised by an adult telling you, "Don't dish it if you can't take it." Person number one is you. If an adult told you that when you were a kid, were you raised in one of those households that said if you can't dish it, don't take it? Those old lessons that we got as kids, that stuff applies to adulthood. Come on, Rocky, you want to me? Come on, you're Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Like that, that applies to adulthood. You know, the rules don't change just because you get wrong. Don't cry wolf. Don't dish it if you can't take it. That goes through life, yo. Okay, cool, man. I just got the email. Okay, cool. So, and yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Right. You can't be a bully and a victim at the same time. Right. Nobody check your ass, pay cash. Yep. And that goes back to the whole story. Leave people alone. That's why, Rocky. Leave people alone, man. Less of people. Right. I'm gonna give y'all some of my dad's wisdom. A lot of y'all see I like my dad's wisdom. I'm gonna give y'all some of my dad's wisdom. My dad would always tell me when I was a kid. My dad would always tell me when I was a kid, you don't know how hard somebody else is doing. Sound is low, can't hear. I don't know what's going on, and then change. Oh, how about now? How about now? How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay, yeah, it connected to my headphones. That's what happened. Thank you. Thank you. Like I automatically connected to my headphones when I got up and moved. I looked at it. I looked at it. I was like, hold on. What the fuck? It showed I was on my headphones. Like, them motherfuckers is over there chilling. Yeah, and so my dad always say, people, and you never know what people are going through. You can get a perfectly normal person going through normal stuff that don't have a temper, that normally okay, but they could be going through a section in their life, and you say something wrong to them at the wrong time. You don't know how it's gonna happen. So just at the end of the day, leave people alone. Alone. Tommy said, "Yeah, you see him playing a conservative role and showing up with a random woman, right? Something else about dude. After taking while Anton was taking his victory lap, while he was taking his victory lap, talking about how he punked Corey and he would have beat Corey up, he turned around and called him a snitch for calling out a situation. What do you mean? First off, how are you this person that talks like you better than all the black people, but you're using all the drug dealer terminology? You're talking about what's wrong with black people, what's wrong with the streets, but you call Corey a snitch. Well, is it the anti-snitching party part of what's wrong with the streets? How do you play this? I'm tough. I would have beat him up, but at the same time, I'm a conservative, and I'm moral. And I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Since when do Christians use the term snitch? When that happened? And then he played, and on top of that, he played the I'm better than you. I'm Mr. Christian. I'm Mr. Family Values. I was watching a reaction video today. I think it was Carcino's channel, and no, it was some lady. They played a clip. You know, it was somebody's channel. They played a clip of Anton on one of those panel shows that he be doing, and dude was talking about how he have all kind of bad women with him at any time, and it was like, hold on. The whole point of Christian conservatism is one man, one family, and to have a nuclear family, and but you bragging like, what did I tell y'all before? That dude is a prosperity preacher, y'all. He is a prosperity preacher, yo. That's what he is. Oh yeah, you got this for Turning Point USA just because? Hell yeah. Right on the op. That's funny, Bill Marty. Like, you can't go on somebody's show and say I had a plan, and your plan was to destroy their show, and say that you're a Christian. Did y'all see Corey's interview with Deion Cole? Nigga, I'm 30 minutes into that interview. I'm 40 minutes into that interview. That interview is so goddamn funny. Pressing up one if you've seen Corey's interview with Deion Cole. What's up, Brooke? That interview is so goddamn funny. Have y'all got the video? Well, after y'all done listening to me, go watch Corey's interview with Deion Cole. That interview is so fucking funny, dog. That interview reminds you of how funny Corey is. My only issue with 5150, I don't watch as much as I used to, and the reason why I don't watch 5150 the way I used to is because it's gotten stagnant, you know? And I love, I still got love for 5150, but I can only hear, you know, talking about ags, you know, the FAGs. I can only hear that for so long, and these degenerate women before I get bored with the content. So I kind of get, 5150, the content wise has gotten stale. So I don't watch it. I still watch every week, But I used to watch from beginning to end every single week. Now, when Corey goes on his tangents, I may click off, but I still check in because if you ask me, it's still the best show. Like but when you see Corey, yeah, I miss Zoe too. I miss when Corey and Freeze were together. When you get Corey, all like Corey, being there to talk about this. Corey is probably one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet. But Corey is a receiver slash running back. If Corey has a quarterback with him, like like some of my favorite episodes would be Mansions when Corey would be on with Zoe. Do y'all remember when Corey would go on Zoe's show? Those would be some of my funniest episodes when Zoe would just feed Corey. And this nigga Corey is going to be 50 for 50 when you throw him something. You throw Corey a pass, that nigga is going to shoot 50 for 50. He going to end the game with 16 dunks, 20 mid-range, 23s, nigga. And all them hoes is going to go in. He's one of the funniest people on the planet. Period. And when y'all watch that Deion Cole interview, man, that is some of the funniest shit. I'm gonna go shit on Monday. Corey, he gonna be at Flappers on Monday. I'm going up there. To Flappers on Monday. Corey, that's Corey's show. Hell yeah, I'm going. That shit gonna be funny than a motherfucker. Marcus, I gotta go back and watch Marcus' show. I think Marcus got a raw deal. Also, at the same time, I don't know the backstory between Corey and Marcus, and I don't know the backstory between Marcus and Ryan Davis. But I saw when Ryan Davis told the story on Club Shay Shay, I knew off top he was talking about Marcus. I was like, man, that nigga Marcus been over on TikTok making his bread, man. Leave that brother alone. Like, whatever happened, happened. Leave that shit alone. I'm not gonna watch Marcus's show because I thought that was deal. I'm not in Corey's shoes. But I was there for a lot of that. You know what I mean? I was there. I remember. I know how much Marcus looked up to Corey. I remember seeing that connection happen right in front of me. You know, just being in front of the improv, and I know how much Marcus valued Corey. And so, I got compassion. I'm an empath. I got compassion. And to me, I was like, damn, it's fucked up that it ain't like that. But like I said, I don't know the backstory. Corey obviously got his reasons, you know? Yeah, Zoe did bring balance. Like, Zoe knew how to slow Corey down and extrapolate. See, Corey's smart. Corey's a very smart person. It's just that when he's around someone to pull it out of him, it's amazing. Because Corey, being the natural comedian he is, his brain is going to go right to the funny, right to the absurdity, right to calling out the absurdity of a situation, the funny of a situation. Zoe knew how to tune Corey into the essence of a situation. You know what I mean? And I don't think, just judging from afar, the distance, when I saw how Corey and Zoe fell out, I listened closely to what people say when they're angry. And when Corey was angry, my overall takeaway was I don't think he valued all of what Zoe brought. I'm sure he values it now. But in the moment, like when all the shit first happened, I don't know if he valued it. I'm sure he values it now. Zoe Zoe understood how to put Corey in a different element, and to me it'd be beautiful to watch too, because I thought the best out of each other. Because it wasn't like Zoe was just making Corey. Corey brought the best out of Zoe too. Corey, what Corey did with Zoe, Corey challenged Zoe. He knew how to challenge Zoe. And Zoe, all the Zoe knew all the right words. Zoe knew what to say. Zoe knew how to, make things sound a certain way. Zoe knew how to really, he always sounded poised and in control. And, you know, Zoe, Corey made Zoe dig, like really give even, I'm not saying Zoe had bad answers. Corey will question Zoe enough to make his answers not be superficial. Corey did a great job of challenging Zoe. Zoe couldn't just say, and I'm not saying Zoe did say a bunch of fluff, because I do my own show. I know how it is. When you're used to hearing yourself talk and you're used to hearing yourself say things, sometimes it can come out in a way where you miss some stuff, because like some stuff that I talk about to me is normal. So when I explain it to y'all, sometimes I go back and listen, like when I'm doing my clips, when I'm editing clips and everything, I'll go back and listen to me say something, and I'll be like, I didn't really extrapolate that thought process, that thought clearly. I missed a few things. I noticed that about myself. I'll be like, man, damn, I skipped over, you know. So like, I love to have a co-host sometimes that can challenge me on what I say, because it would make me be more clear when I say things. And I think that Corey did a great job of doing that with Zoe. What's up, Sonya T? See, Slide is on right now. I'm over here feeding, getting Rocky his Rocky on an antibiotic right now. So I'm over here getting him his shit. But so yeah, it worked together. Wanna come back outside, Rocky? 'Cause I bet smoking, homie. My wife on weed up in the house. Not that you know. Man, them poets, Rose. I would be in an uncomfortable situation, because when Zoe back in the day before the pandemic, I used to do a show with my boy Mike Robertson. He calls into the show sometimes, and our show was at Poetess Studio. So I remember the first time I did 5150, I uh I did 5150, and then the next day I had a show at Poetess Studio. I was co-hosting with my homeboy Mike, and he don't Mike don't watch 5150 like that, so he didn't know about the shit that Corey would have to say about Poetess. So the topic during that show one of them days, He asked me, he's like, so Dwann, you was on 5150. And Portis was in the booth. I was like, I don't want to talk 5150 in front of Portis. And Portis was cool. I love, me personally, love Portis. I ain't got no issues with Portis. She cool. Now sometimes Portis would want to challenge me when I was on my black, when I would get hella militant down there, but she was always cool. Me and Portis was cool, but this nigga Mike brought her up. I was like, I don't want to talk about 5150 in front of Portis, man. But he didn't know. But going back to the fallout, see, Anton Daniels is going to play the victim because, you know, you don't go at a comedian like that. You don't go at a comedian like that in general. But you definitely don't go at the Corey Holcomb like that. You just don't. You just don't. And when you see this Deion Cole interview he's doing, you see why. This interview is so fucking funny. And what's funny about the Deion Cole interview, there's a part in the interview, like early on, like in the first 20 minutes, where he's talking about being in front of the improv. Yeah, of course, Anton Daniels is going to sue. Of course, yeah, he's going to sue. But Corey talks about being in front of the improv, and Deion Cole coming out of the improv in his Rolls Royce. Dog, I was there when that whole story. I was there for that story, and it happened exactly like Corey said. Deion be backing out the improv, and he has I don't know if it's a convertible Bentley, a Rolls Royce, one of them two. Shit, I don't be looking at niggas' cars that close. It's either a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, but it's white, and it's a convertible. So this nigga Corey like Deion, and Deion came over. It happened exactly the way Corey said on that show. Real talk, Corey might not be well versed in the art of war. Anton did walk him into a trap. He did. But Anton also put himself in the web too. See, Anton ended up walking Corey into a trap, but at what cost? Anton didn't see his family getting involved. I'm sure Anton's going to sue. I'm sure Corey's going to have to settle. But at what cost? Now, Corey done brought, now your marriage is all over the internet. Think about that. You got YouTube channels doing whole think pieces on, ooh, look at when he said this about his wife. Ooh, here's an old video of his ex-wife. You don't want the internet all. You don't want the internet sluicing your family. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You do not want the internet sleuths all in your family. And then now his daughter is now collateral damage. Corey set off a nuke. One thing about Corey, if see, Anton didn't study him well enough. Corey thrives in these conditions. Go back to when Corey took that picture with the chicken and Stephen A. Smith. Remember Corey was talking all kind of big shit about Stephen A. Smith. I beat that nigga's ass. Blah, 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 blah. He was going in on Stephen A. Smith only to take a picture with chicken in his hands. And the 5150 fan base did not like it. Some people stopped watching 5150. But most of us continue to watch. We was all like, man, I get not beating his ass, Corey, but a picture with the chicken, it was a bad look. And I'm somebody who, but I'm gonna call a spade, you know? I'm gonna call a spade. But did I stop watching 5150? Hell no. And Corey made sense. Like, why would Corey fight Stephen A. Smith? I was with him. Like, man, don't fight this Jeffrey Osborne looking nigga. It was just, but don't take that picture either, though. God damn. But Corey's such a funny motherfucker, and he has a very engaging personality. Like, Corey got that kind of personality where it's like you can't stay mad at him. Some people are like that, you know? That's just, and he's a seven of clubs. Seven of clubs are very charming and engaging people, but they're also warriors. That is a war card. They're engaging. People are no, but you don't want to go to war with a seven of clubs. They will go. A seven of clubs will go to the depths of the ocean and below that on your monkey ass. You don't want to go to war with a seven of clubs. Fat Joe's a seven of clubs. That's why Fat Joe can. Everybody know Fat Joe is cap, but Fat Joe, no matter what you say about him, and tomorrow's show's gonna be on Fat Joe. No matter what you say about Fat Joe, he has a very engaging personality. Everything else about him is weird, but he's a very engaging personality on camera. You gotta. So Corey can get away with shit. You know what I mean? Corey's reaction to Tasha K. When Tasha K threatened to expose Corey or backdoor, you remember? And we all knew Tasha K was full of shit. But Corey did not handle that smoothly in his own. And one thing about y'all, the 5150 fan base, y'all gonna be very honest with him in that chat room. I look at the chat. The chat will be like, nah, Corey, this ain't it. We'll be right back there the next week. That's one thing. And that's another thing that Anton Daniels underestimated. Corey can do some stuff that his own chat room is against. And they're going to be right back there. He miscalculated the bigger picture. But pay attention. Sinister, Harold Leroy, appreciate y'all for being in here. Bruce, Lady Beauty, Bono, Bismarck T.